Heads up, the absolute worst food that causes neuropathy, a severe damage to your legs, might be sitting in your kitchen right now. You could be munching on something daily that's wrecking your nerves and causing irreversible harm. Neuropathy is a sneaky issue, starting with tingles, numbness, and random leg and foot pain. Over time, it can lead to losing feeling, trouble walking, and even permanent limitations. What many don't realize is that diet plays a huge role in this. Certain foods can ramp up inflammation, mess with your circulation, and poison your nerves, leaving them unable to function right. And the kicker? These foods are staples for most folks. In today's video, I'll unveil 15 super dangerous foods for your nerves, and one tops the list as the absolute worst, a real poison for your nervous system that tons of people eat without a clue of the risks. Minute by minute, thousands of people worldwide are wrecking their health without knowing. Are you making this mistake? Could a simple eating habit be sabotaging your health and speeding up neuropathy? Stick with me to the end because I'll show you what these dangerous foods are and what you can do to shield your nerves before it's too late. Number 15. Donuts and packaged cakes. Ultra-processed foods like donuts and packaged cakes are silent killers for nerve health. They're packed with refined sugars, trans fats, and chemical additives that fuel inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a major cause of nerve degeneration, weakening the nerve endings in your legs. Regular consumers might start to feel numbness, tingling, and even lose their balance. Trans fats, added to these products to extend their shelf life, are seriously bad for your nervous system. They hinder the absorption of essential fatty acids, crucial for maintaining nerve cell integrity. Without these nutrients, nerves become vulnerable to progressive damage, impairing their ability to transmit electrical impulses. This could lead to a constant feeling of weakness in your legs. Another major issue with these foods is the combo of sugar and refined flour, which spikes your blood sugar. High glucose levels are a prime culprit in destroying peripheral nerves, leading to diabetic neuropathy. Even non-diabetics can suffer from these negative effects due to the body's response to these sugar spikes by producing more insulin, which can lead to insulin resistance and systemic inflammation. Studies show that people who often eat packaged cakes and donuts are more likely to develop peripheral neuropathies. Excessive consumption of these products also affects blood circulation, reducing the supply of oxygen and essential nutrients to the nerves. Over time, the lack of nutritional support can speed up the degeneration of nerve cells, making the problem even harder to reverse. If you're a sweets lover, the best bet is to go for healthier homemade versions. Swapping white flour for whole grain and cutting down on sugar can lessen the negative impacts. Fruits like bananas and dates can be great natural sweeteners for recipes. Also, avoiding hydrogenated fats in your diet can help preserve nerve health and reduce neuropathy risks. Small changes can make a big difference in your quality of life. But there's one item that's even more damaging to the nerves and will be revealed at the end of the video. Number 14. French fries and chips. French fries and chips might seem harmless, but in reality, they're a nightmare for peripheral nerves. The main issue lies in the low-quality oils used for frying these foods, which create harmful inflammatory substances. Moreover, these snacks are high in acrylamide, a toxic chemical that can damage nerve cells. Regular consumption of fried foods can accelerate the development of neuropathy. Another concern is the presence of trans fats in these products, which are linked to increased inflammation in the body. When there's chronic inflammation, peripheral nerves are among the first to suffer. This is because inflammation compromises the function of blood vessels that nourish the nerves, leading to progressive damage. Over time, these damages can cause muscle weakness, loss of reflexes, and mobility issues. The high sodium content in French fries and chips also exacerbates the problem. Excessive salt intake can impair circulation, making it harder to transport oxygen and essential nutrients to the nerves. This can result in numbness, burning sensations in the feet and legs, and an increased risk of constant tingling. For those already prone to neuropathy, these effects can be even more intense. Moreover, many chips contain flavor enhancers like monosodium glutamate, MSG, which can be neurotoxic for some people. This compound has been linked to headaches, dizziness, and even brain cell damage. When consumed excessively, it can contribute to the deterioration of the nervous system, increasing the risk of neurological complications. In other words, these seemingly innocuous snacks could be undermining your health. Number 13. Bacon and sausage. Bacon and sausage are popular foods, but they carry a high risk for the health of peripheral nerves. These products are rich in saturated fats, which promote inflammatory processes in the body. Chronic inflammation is one of the main factors leading to nerve degeneration, resulting in symptoms like numbness, tingling, and leg pain. Moreover, these meats contain chemicals that can further aggravate this condition. Nitrates and nitrites used in preserving bacon and sausage are known for their harmful effects on the nervous system. When consumed regularly, these substances can alter the function of neurons, making them more vulnerable to damage. This can lead to failures in communication between peripheral nerves and the brain, resulting in loss of sensitivity and muscle weakness. This effect is even more concerning for people who already have a predisposition to neuropathy. Another problem with these processed meats is their high sodium content. Excessive salt intake can lead to fluid retention that harms blood circulation, reducing the supply of oxygen to the nerves. When this occurs, nerve cells can suffer progressive damage, making neuropathy symptoms even more severe. Over time, this can lead to difficulties in walking and maintaining balance. Besides sodium, bacon and sausage contain trans fats, which further aggravate inflammation and harm cardiovascular health. Inadequate circulation directly affects peripheral nerves, making them more susceptible to damage. This means that frequent consumption of these foods may be accelerating the process of nerve degeneration without you realizing it. It's a risk that cannot be ignored. If you enjoy these foods, a healthier alternative is to opt for less processed meats and season them with natural herbs. Consuming lean proteins such as chicken and fish helps reduce inflammation and protects the nervous system. But beware, despite being extremely harmful, bacon and sausage are still not the worst foods for nerves. There's a food that's even more destructive, and it will be revealed only at the end of the video. Number 12. Candy and sweets. Sweets are major villains when it comes to the health of peripheral nerves. Excessive sugar intake can lead to constant spikes in blood glucose, a primary trigger for diabetic neuropathy. When glucose levels become uncontrolled, the blood vessels that nourish the nerves start to get damaged. This can lead to symptoms like tingling, numbness, and even loss of sensitivity in the feet and legs. The refined sugar found in candies, chocolates, and other sweets contributes to a process called glycation. This phenomenon occurs when excess blood glucose binds to the proteins in tissues, making them stiff and dysfunctional. This directly affects the nerves, reducing their ability to conduct electrical impulses. Over time, this can lead to nerve degeneration and increase the risk of severe complications. Moreover, excess sugar triggers silent inflammations in the body, making nerve regeneration more difficult. Studies show that people who consume large amounts of sugar daily are more likely to develop neurological diseases. This is because the brain and nervous system depend on efficient blood circulation to stay healthy. When this circulation is impaired, the nerves begin to fail. Another problem with industrially produced sweets is that many contain artificial sweeteners, dyes, and preservatives that can be neurotoxic. Some research suggests that these additives can interfere with neurotransmitter function, impairing nerve communication. This can lead to symptoms like fatigue, chronic pain, and motor difficulties. The buildup of toxins, high inflammation, and nutrient deficiency make it one of the worst foods for those looking to prevent or treat neuropathy. But hang on. Despite its harmfulness, this is still not the worst food on the list. The real villain for neuropathy will be revealed at the end of the video, and you need to stay until the end to find out. Number 11. Beer and alcoholic beverages. Excessive alcohol is one of the main causes of alcoholic neuropathy, a condition that destroys peripheral nerve endings. This disease manifests with symptoms like pain, muscle weakness, numbness, and loss of coordination in the limbs. Abusive consumption of alcoholic beverages can result in irreversible nerve damage, making simple activities like walking extremely difficult. The problem is that many ignore the early signs of this condition. Alcohol directly affects the absorption of essential vitamins for the nerves, such as vitamin B1, B6, and B12. These vitamins are crucial for maintaining the health of the nervous system, and their deficiency can accelerate the degeneration of peripheral nerves. Many people who regularly consume alcohol develop a deficiency of these vitamins without realizing it, contributing to the worsening of neuropathy. Another negative impact of alcohol is its ability to cause inflammation in the body. The liver, which is responsible for detoxifying the body, suffers from excessive drinking, resulting in an increase in circulating toxins in the blood. These toxins can reach the peripheral nerves, causing injuries and hindering their recovery. This effect is even worse in people who already have circulation problems. Alcohol also interferes with the communication between neurons, reducing the brain's ability to send signals to the legs and feet. Over time, this can lead to motor difficulties and an increased risk of falls and injuries. Moreover, alcohol can enhance the negative effects of other harmful foods, such as those high in saturated fats and refined sugars. Frequent consumption of these combinations can accelerate the progression of neuropathy. If you regularly consume alcohol, it is important to reduce or eliminate this substance from your routine. Alcoholic neuropathy is a serious and often irreversible problem. Therefore, the sooner you cut or reduce alcohol consumption, the better for your nerve health. And remember, there's still a food that's the biggest villain for neuropathy. And it will be revealed at the end of the video. Number 10. Frozen pizza. Frozen pizza may seem like a practical and tasty option, but it's full of ingredients harmful to nerve health. The first major problem is the presence of trans fats, one of the worst types of fat for the body. These fats are known for promoting chronic inflammation, which directly affects peripheral nerves. When there's inflammation in nerve tissues, there's a degradation of myelin, the protective layer of nerves, resulting in pain, tingling, and loss of sensitivity. Besides trans fats, frozen pizza contains high amounts of sodium, one of the main enemies of blood circulation. Excess sodium can lead to fluid retention and increased blood pressure, making it harder to oxygenate peripheral nerves. With less oxygen and nutrients, the nerves begin to deteriorate, impairing communication between the brain and legs. This is a determining factor for the advancement of neuropathy, as poor blood flow accelerates the degeneration of nerve fibers. Another serious problem with frozen pizzas is the chemical additives, such as preservatives and flavor enhancers. One of the most dangerous is monosodium glutamate, which can be neurotoxic for some people. Studies indicate that excessive consumption of MSG can increase inflammation in the nervous system and lead to episodes of neuropathic pain. Moreover, MSG can alter the function of neurotransmitters, impacting the communication between nerves and muscles. This can result in loss of reflexes and motor difficulties. The base of the pizza is also a problem. Made with refined flour, it has a high glycemic index, meaning its consumption can cause spikes in blood sugar. This effect is especially dangerous for those with insulin resistance or diabetes, as excess glucose can progressively damage the nerves. Diabetic neuropathy is one of the most common forms of the disease and is directly linked to excessive consumption of refined carbohydrates, such as those present in frozen pizza. Although frozen pizza is a convenient option, its effects on the body can be devastating for nerve health. The buildup of toxins, high inflammation, and nutrient deficiency make it one of the worst foods for those looking to prevent or treat neuropathy. But hang on, despite its harmfulness, this is still not the worst food on the list. The real villain for neuropathy will be revealed at the end of the video, and you need to stay until the end to find out. Number 9. Whole milk and fatty dairy products. Whole milk and its derivatives such as fatty cheeses and cream are foods that can negatively impact the health of peripheral nerves. This happens mainly due to the high content of saturated fat, one of the main triggers for inflammation in the body. When there's an excess of this type of fat in the diet, the body begins to produce more inflammatory substances, which can directly affect the nerves. Chronic inflammation over time deteriorates nerve function and can lead to symptoms like numbness and leg pain. Another problem with whole milk is that it can interfere with the absorption of vitamin B12, an essential nutrient for the health of the nervous system. B12 deficiency is among the main causes of peripheral neuropathy, as this nutrient is fundamental for the regeneration of nerve fibers. Some people who consume large amounts of fatty dairy without a balanced diet may develop symptoms of neuropathy simply because they are not absorbing this vitamin properly. Moreover, studies indicate that dairy derivatives can contribute to insulin resistance, a factor directly related to the development of diabetic neuropathy. This occurs because excessive consumption of dairy can alter blood sugar levels and cause silent inflammation. People with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes should avoid whole milk and opt for skim versions or plant-based alternatives, such as almond or coconut milk. Another concerning factor is that many dairy products are rich in hormones and antibiotics used in intensive cattle raising. These substances can cause metabolic and neurological dysfunctions, directly affecting the function of peripheral nerves. The impact of these compounds on the nervous system is still being studied, but there is evidence that excessive dairy consumption may be linked to neurological disorders, including chronic pain and loss of sensitivity in the lower limbs. If you want to protect your nerves, the best strategy is to reduce the consumption of fatty dairy and opt for lower-fat versions. Additionally, ensuring a good intake of vitamin B12 through lean meats, eggs, and supplements can help prevent nerve degeneration. For those looking for healthier alternatives, fresh cheeses like ricotta and cottage are better options compared to highly processed yellow cheeses. Number 8. Canned soups and sauces. Many people don't imagine that seemingly harmless foods like canned soups and sauces can be real enemies of nerve health. The problem starts with the excess sodium, as these products contain extremely high amounts of this substance. Excessive sodium consumption causes an increase in blood pressure and reduces blood circulation, compromising the supply of oxygen and essential nutrients to peripheral nerves. Besides sodium, canned sauces and soups contain monosodium glutamate, an additive used to enhance the flavor of foods. Although widely used in the food industry, MSG can be neurotoxic for some people. Studies indicate that excessive consumption of this additive can cause neuropathic pain, chronic fatigue, and even mood and cognition changes. This happens because MSG can excessively stimulate neurons, leading to their premature death. Another serious problem with these foods is the artificial preservatives and chemical stabilizers, which can affect the function of the nervous system. These compounds are added to increase the durability of products, but they can trigger inflammation and hinder nerve regeneration. For people who already have neuropathy, consuming these products can further aggravate symptoms and accelerate the progression of the disease. Canned sauces and soups are silent danger, but the worst is yet to come. Number 7. Microwave popcorn. Microwave popcorn may seem like a harmless and even healthy option, but the truth is that this food hides serious dangers for peripheral nerves. The main problem lies in the composition of hydrogenated oils, which are rich in trans fats, one of the major causes of chronic inflammation in the body. These fats directly affect the nerves, making it difficult for them to communicate with the brain, which can result in tingling, numbness, and neuropathic pain. Another major villain in microwave popcorn is diacetyl, a chemical additive used to give the characteristic buttery flavor to this type of popcorn. Diacetyl has been linked to brain and neurological damage, as it can cross the blood-brain barrier and cause inflammation in nerve tissues. Studies indicate that this substance can accelerate the degeneration of neurons, affecting both the central nervous system and peripheral nerves. Moreover, the bags of microwave popcorn are coated with perfluorinated compounds, chemicals that can release toxins into the food when heated. These toxins have been linked to metabolic problems and systemic inflammation, factors that directly harm nerve health. This means that even before eating, you're already ingesting substances harmful to your nervous system. The high amount of sodium and artificial flavorings found in industrialized popcorn also aggravates the situation. Excessive sodium can increase blood pressure and reduce blood flow to the nerves, compromising their oxygenation and regeneration. Artificial flavorings such as monosodium glutamate can be neurotoxic and worsen neuropathy symptoms, causing pain and chronic fatigue. For popcorn lovers, the best alternative is to opt for the natural version, made in a pan with coconut oil or olive oil and seasoned with natural herbs. Microwave popcorn is one of the most dangerous foods for the nerves, but it's still not the worst of all. The real villain of neuropathy will be revealed at the end of the video, and you need to watch until the end to find out. Number 6. Fast food chicken. Fast food chicken is one of the most consumed foods in the world, but few know how harmful it can be to the nervous system. The first problem lies in its frying in low-quality oils, which are reused multiple times in fast food restaurants. This process generates toxic substances such as aldehydes and polycyclic hydrocarbons, which can increase inflammatory processes in the body and directly affect peripheral nerves. Moreover, the chickens sold in fast food chains are often raised with high doses of antibiotics and hormones, which can interfere with neurological health. Studies indicate that prolonged exposure to antibiotics can alter the intestinal microbiota and cause inflammation in the nervous system, leading to symptoms like numbness, burning, and leg weakness. This is because the gut is directly linked to the functioning of the brain and peripheral nerves. Another concerning factor is the excess sodium and preservatives used to enhance the flavor and prolong the durability of these foods. High sodium consumption can impair blood circulation and reduce the supply of oxygen and essential nutrients to the nerves. Over time, this can lead to progressive damage, making it difficult to regenerate nerve fibers and worsening cases of peripheral neuropathy. Fast food chicken is also often breaded with refined flour and modified starches, which have a high glycemic index. This means that these foods can rapidly raise blood sugar levels, increasing the risk of diabetic neuropathy. This effect is intensified by frequent consumption, as the sugar overload directly affects the nerve's ability to transmit electrical impulses correctly. If you want to preserve your nerve health, it's best to opt for baked or grilled chicken and avoid fried, and industrialized versions. Number 5. Energy drinks. Energy drinks have become a popular beverage for those looking for more energy and focus, but their side effects can be devastating for nerve health. The main problem with these drinks is the high concentration of caffeine and artificial stimulants, which can overwhelm the nervous system and lead to episodes of sensory neuropathy. Frequent consumption of energy drinks can cause excessive wear on peripheral nerves, resulting in tingling and burning sensations in the legs. Another risk of energy drinks lies in artificial sweeteners, such as aspartame and sucralose, which are often used to reduce the sugar content in the composition. Studies suggest that these sweeteners can be neurotoxic, interfering with neurotransmitter function and increasing the risk of nerve damage. Moreover, the effects of these additives can be cumulative, meaning the more you consume, the greater the negative impact over the years. Energy drinks also negatively affect blood flow to peripheral nerves, as they raise blood pressure and cause adrenaline spikes. This effect can be particularly dangerous for people with a predisposition to neuropathy, as the irregular blood flow can exacerbate the symptoms of the disease. Over time, this type of beverage can increase the risk of permanent nerve damage and cause motor difficulties. Another problem is that many versions of energy drinks contain high doses of sugar, which can lead to increased blood sugar levels and trigger serious metabolic problems. As mentioned earlier, diabetic neuropathy is one of the main forms of the disease, and sugary beverages play a significant role in this scenario. Excessive sugar consumption directly affects the nerves and can accelerate the progression of symptoms. Number 4. Ultra-salty foods. Ultra-salty foods such as industrialized broths, instant soups, and ready-made seasonings are real sodium and monosodium glutamate bombs, substances that can be highly harmful to peripheral nerve health. Excessive sodium consumption is one of the main factors that contribute to circulatory problems, as it leads to increased blood pressure, impairing the arrival of oxygen and essential nutrients to the nerves. This means that by regularly consuming these products, you may be accelerating nerve degeneration without realizing it. Monosodium glutamate, present in many ready-made seasonings and industrialized broths, is a flavor enhancer that can have neurotoxic effects on sensitive individuals. This can result in neuropathic pain, burning sensations, tingling, and even episodes of extreme fatigue. For those who already have some degree of neuropathy, these foods can significantly worsen symptoms. Moreover, industrialized broths and ready-made soups are rich in chemical preservatives that can provoke inflammation in the body, directly affecting the regeneration of peripheral nerves. Chronic inflammation is one of the main causes of neuropathy, as it interferes with the body's ability to repair nerve tissue damage. Thus, by frequently consuming these products, you are reducing your body's ability to recover from injuries and protecting your nerves less against future damage. Another concerning point is that these foods often contain high levels of saturated and trans fats, which not only harm blood circulation but also affect nerve impulse conduction. Poor circulation can lead to deficiencies in communication between peripheral nerves and the brain, making reflexes slower and increasing the risk of falls, motor difficulties, and chronic leg pain. If you want to protect your nerve health, replace these products with natural seasonings such as garlic, onion, turmeric, ginger, and fresh herbs. Number 3. White rice and white bread. Many people don't realize, but common foods like white rice and white bread can be extremely harmful to the health of peripheral nerves. The main problem with these foods is that they are rich in refined carbohydrates, which have a high glycemic index. This means that when consumed, they are quickly transformed into glucose in the blood, causing sugar spikes and contributing to insulin resistance, one of the main factors associated with the development of diabetic neuropathy. When blood glucose levels remain elevated for extended periods, a process called glycation occurs, which can irreversibly damage the nerves. Glycation is a chemical reaction in which sugar binds to nerve proteins, making them rigid and less functional. This can lead to symptoms like numbness, tingling, burning sensations in the feet, and even loss of sensitivity, increasing the risks of severe injuries without the person realizing it. Another problem with white rice and white bread is that they are low in fibers and essential nutrients, such as B vitamins and magnesium, two key components for proper nerve function. Vitamin B12, for example, is essential for the regeneration of nerve fibers. People who consume a diet low in nutritious foods but high in refined carbohydrates may develop nutritional deficiencies that accelerate nerve degeneration. Frequent consumption of these foods can also cause inflammatory processes in the body, worsening neuropathy. This is because insulin resistance leads to an increase in the Production of inflammatory cytokines, substances that harm nerve health and hinder their regeneration. Thus, a simple dietary habit can be silently contributing to the advancement of neuropathy. If you want to protect your nerves, replace white rice with brown rice, quinoa, or sweet potatoes, which have a lower glycemic index and offer more nutrients. The same goes for white bread. Opt for whole grain versions, made with whole grain flours and rich in fibers. Number 2. Fatty red meats. Fatty red meats such as sirloin, ribs, and beef sausage are known for their distinct flavor, but their excessive consumption can be extremely harmful to peripheral nerves. The main problem with these meats lies in the high amount of saturated fats, which contribute to chronic inflammation in the body. As we've mentioned, inflammation is one of the most dangerous factors for nerve health, as it can lead to the degeneration of nerve fibers and loss of sensitivity. Another serious problem with fatty red meats is that they can increase bad cholesterol levels and impair blood circulation. When circulation is compromised, peripheral nerves receive less oxygen and nutrients, becoming more vulnerable to damage. This can result in symptoms like numbness, weakness, and even difficulties in walking. Moreover, excessive consumption of fatty red meat can overload the liver and kidneys, essential organs for detoxifying the body. When these organs do not function properly, there is an accumulation of toxins in the blood, which can directly affect nerve health. This can accelerate the process of neurological deterioration, increasing the risks of neuropathy. If you enjoy meat, it's best to opt for lean cuts such as tenderloin, rump, and filet mignon, which contain less saturated fat and are less aggressive to the nervous system. It is also essential to balance the diet with plant-based protein sources, such as legumes and nuts, which have anti-inflammatory properties and help protect the nerves. Now get ready. In the next chapter, we'll finally reveal the worst food of all for leg nerves. Number 1. Artificial sweeteners. Although many people use them as a healthier alternative to sugar, the truth is that these substances can be extremely harmful to the nervous system. The problem begins with the fact that artificial sweeteners such as aspartame, sucralose, and acesulfame K are chemical compounds that the body does not always metabolize correctly. As a result, these substances can accumulate in the body and interfere with neurotransmitter function, directly affecting the communication between peripheral nerves and the brain. Aspartame, one of the most widely used sweeteners in the world, is associated with a series of side effects, including headaches, dizziness, chronic fatigue, and, in more severe cases, progressive neurological damage. It is composed of phenylalanine, aspartic acid, and methanol. Phenylalanine can cross the blood-brain barrier and interfere with the production of neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine, which are essential for the functioning of the nervous system. Aspartic acid, in turn, can act as a neuroexcitatory agent, overwhelming neurons and leading to their premature degeneration. Meanwhile, methanol is converted into formaldehyde within the body, a highly toxic substance that can cause chronic inflammation and damage the nerves. Sucralose, another widely consumed sweetener, is also not harmless. Studies show that its continuous use can alter the intestinal microbiota, leading to increased intestinal permeability and allowing toxins and inflammatory substances to enter the bloodstream. This can result in a systemic inflammatory process, which directly affects peripheral nerves. Moreover, some research suggests that sucralose can interfere with the absorption of essential nutrients, such as vitamin B12 and magnesium, which are fundamental for nerve regeneration. Deficiency of these nutrients can accelerate the deterioration of the nervous system and increase the risks of neuropathy. Another problem with artificial sweeteners is that they can cause an imbalance in glucose metabolism. Although many people use these sugar substitutes to manage diabetes or reduce caloric intake, studies show that artificial sweeteners can, in fact, worsen insulin resistance. This happens because they trick the body into releasing insulin without sufficient glucose in the blood. As a result, the body becomes less efficient at regulating glucose, which can exacerbate neuropathy cases. Moreover, artificial sweeteners can stimulate appetite, leading to increased carbohydrate consumption and contributing to the development of inflammation that directly affects the nerves. Many people believe that artificial sweeteners are safe because they are approved by regulatory agencies, but the problem is that the long-term effects of these substances are not yet fully understood. What is known is that there is a growing body of evidence linking regular consumption of these compounds to neurological problems, chronic inflammation, and nerve damage. Some research suggests that prolonged use of artificial sweeteners can lead to increased oxidative stress, a factor that contributes to the degeneration of nerve fibers. Oxidative stress occurs when there is an imbalance between the production of free radicals and the body's ability to neutralize them, leading to progressive cellular damage. If you want to protect your nerve health, the best strategy is to avoid artificial sweeteners and opt for natural alternatives such as pure stevia, erythritol, and honey in small quantities. Xylitol can also be a better option than traditional artificial sweeteners, as it has a more controlled glycemic impact and is not associated with the same neurotoxic risks. Moreover, reducing the overall consumption of ultra-processed foods and diet beverages can help minimize exposure to these substances. Often, artificial sweeteners are present in products like zero-calorie sodas, light yogurts, protein bars, and even in some pharmaceuticals. Reading product labels and opting for more natural versions can make a big difference in preventing neuropathy. The biggest danger of artificial sweeteners is that their side effects do not appear immediately. Unlike other harmful foods, whose impact can be felt in the short term, the damage caused by artificial sweeteners occurs slowly, accumulating over the years. Many people who suffer from neuropathic pain, tingling, or loss of sensitivity in the lower limbs may not realize that one of the factors could be their daily diet. And if you want to keep receiving the best videos for your health, subscribe to the channel, because it exists for one reason: to make you a healthier person with a better quality of life. Helping you is my mission. In the video that now appears on your screen, I reveal the simple food to recover the strength of your legs in just 12 hours. Click on the screen and check it out. So until the next video,